going to be reading you a book called The Whipping Boy by Fleischman. Now, Jimmy, once a poor boy living on the streets, now lives in a castle as the Whipping Boy. He bears punishment when Prince Brat misbehaves, for it is forbidden to spank, thrash, or whack the heir to the throne. The two boys have nothing in common and even less reason to like one another, but they find themselves taken hostage after running away. They are left with no choice but to trust each other. Okay, so where I left off. I really can't read. Hold your nose, Billy popped a clove of garlic into his mouth. Ground it between his yellow teeth, and helped himself to a, what's that word? To a veal pie. Nothing like garlic to clear the head and fend off the plague. Cutwater, give the lads a rotation of breakfast. Cutwater, give the lads a rotation of breakfast. A ration of breakfast. The scrawny outlaw sliced off 2 thick pieces of coarse bread and drabbed a salt herring across each slice. Eat hearty, little fellers. This smelly stuff? Prince Brat glared at the bread and herring. So, Prince Brat his real name is Prince Horace, and this is Jimmy, this is Prince Brat, and this is the thief. And Jimmy, his father passed away, and his father had a job of rat catching, so, okay. It's not fit for flies. Why, we eat it regular, worms and all, said Cutwater, picking the bones of a pheasant. I'll starve first. Suit yourself, Cutwater snickered. This is the first time we've feasted off the king's own table, and there's hardly enough for me and Billy. So this character's name is Billy. Jimmy sat on the bed straw beside the prince and contemplated his breakfast. He examined the bread closely, hunting for varmints. The prince, he knew, he had never starved enough to pick out wildlife from his grub. Eat, he whispered. I can't find any crawly things in it. The bread's stale, grumbled the prince. Stale enough to pass the roof, but I've scoffed down worse. The prince began to nibble around the edges. Hold your nose, Billy glanced over and grinned. Take a chaw of garlic, Whipping Boy. It'll improve the taste considerable. Cutwater wiped his thin, greasy lips with the back of his hand. Billy, how do we know the prince ain't laid a trap for us in the message? We could have said one thing and wrote another. He could have said one thing and wrote another. I'm sorry. Where will we find someone to read it off to us? Jimmy lifted his chin to a regal height. Regal height. You doubt the word of honor of your prince? How long is this chapter? Okay. Insult me, arves, curs, I'll have you horsewhipped. Cutwater yanked Jimmy to his feet. Who are you calling them names? Who you calling them names? I'll flog your hide pink as the salmon. Hold your nose. Billy pushed him aside. Keep your wits. It's worse than common murder to lay hands on a prince. No need to break any more of the king's laws than we have to. If it comes to a flogging, there is his whipping boy. The prince's eyes widened and his face blanched white. I'll say ain't. Jimmy shrugged. It says, "Son obedient, your obedient son," said, "Hold your nose, Billy. Keep at it." Jewels and gold of cart full of ransom and demand they demand a ransom of a cart a full. That outlaw The outlaw himself began to stumble and trip over the words. Aye, that's the ticket. Aye, that's the ticket. Jimmy read the message through backwards and then the second time before the hairy outlaw was satisfied. Now then, he said, all we got to do is get the message to the king without getting nabbed in the ass. Simple, declared Jimmy. Jimmy, send it to the castle in hands of my whipping boy. So guys, that will do it for today. And if you like what you see, please leave a big fat thumbs up. And that will be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you check out all the other parts because I will have multiple parts. And so far we are on chapter 7. Chapter 10. Why did I say chapter 7? Chapter 10. I keep getting on. There we are. So that will be tomorrow. Bye, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already and like this video. And I will see you next time.